Bad news for Sephora as they're doing major damage control and are now saying that they will not be opening any stores in Israel, but instead will be selling their products through an Israeli retailer. This is after news broke out that Sephora would be opening stores in Israel, and the news was even celebrated by the official Israeli account on X or Twitter, where they said, and I quote, "Welcome to Israel, Sephora. Some people will be very upset about this. We'll be busy picking our shade." And as you can imagine, after this post went viral, calls to boycott Sephora spread online like wildfire. And then all of a sudden, Israeli media, this is the Times of Israel and Haaretz as well, started aggressively posting this headline that Sephora was not going to be coming to Israel. However, they also slowly added in the byline that they are actually using a local Israeli retailer instead. And this is a very clever strategy because if someone looks up Sephora Israel or is Sephora going to be in Israel, the AI will take the article, the summary from these articles, I should say, and then the first line, which unfortunately most people only read the first line, will say Sephora does not plan to open stores in Israel. However, they're actually doing that through an Israeli company called Glam 42, which has routinely supported the Israeli military. And a spokesperson for the Palestinian BDS movement commented on this, where they said, and I quote, "We are aware of new reports claiming that Sephora is not opening any stores or even signing a franchise agreement with any Israeli company, but just sending a shipment of its products to an Israeli company. But by starting business in Israel directly or through an Israeli dealer slash reseller, particularly under these circumstances, Sephora and its owner LVMH have chosen to deepen their complicity with Israel's regime of genocide, apartheid, and illegal military occupation at a time when much of the world is moving in the opposite direction and Israel's genocidal regime is even more isolated than ever." And they ended by saying, Glam 42, the company reported to be importing Sephora collection products to the Israeli market, is a major supplier to the Israeli genocidal army, making Sephora even more complicit. End quote. And brands like Sephora, who need progressive young women in major cities worldwide to buy their products, cannot be seen as being overly Zionist or supportive of Israel, which they are, of course, because their parent company LVMH is very Zionist. However, they saw what young people did to brands like Starbucks, who have never been the same ever since their support to the Israeli government has been exposed. And Sephora is terrified of losing the next generation of young women as well.